What superpowers seem great in films, but would suck to have in real life? From Wormhole Extreme, recurring fake TV show in the amazing sci-fi series Stargate. Actor, so I'm having a little trouble with scene 27. It says that I'm out of phase so can pass my hand through solid matter, or walk through walls. Producer, yeah. Cause you're out of phase actor, so, how come I don't fall through the floor? Indestructible skin because I might be kidnapped, and C4 shoved up my butthole. Mind reading, especially if you can't shut it off. Imagine being in a room with a dozen people and just being blasted with every thought at once. What if it's more than that? What if you go to a baseball game with 40,000 people? You'd melt down and go insane quickly. Twilight Zone had an interesting episode about a guy who worked at a bank or something who gained the ability to read minds. He read his co-worker's mind and discovered he was going to take the money from the vault in the bank at the end of the day and use the money to fly all over the world. The mind reader freaks out and tries to warn the boss, but everyone just thinks he's crazy. He finally confronts the thief, and the thief says, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I wasn't going to actually do it, I was just fantasizing about it. People think thoughts all the time that don't reflect who they are / what they're actually thinking. X-ray vision, because face it, looking at skeletons all day every day will get old fast if you have an appreciation for the fleshy bits. I bet if you could rapidly heal you couldn't get intoxicated. That's even mentioned in movies. Wolverine is always drinking, yet you never really see him drunk. Cap even says, because of his accelerated metabolism, he can't get drunk. Actually, that would be a great superpower to have. Think of all the bar bets you could win. Running really fast, but with actual physics. If you ran past people at the speed of light you would most likely heat up the air enough to the point to incinerate nearby people and objects. I feel like super strength would be dangerous. Obviously there are some super great benefits to it, but I feel like the initial learning curve would be really dangerous. High five to a stranger, their arm is in Canada. Pet a dog. Congrats, you have a new fur pelt. Beating off? God save your soul. Who exactly are you beating off? Because your own would have super strength too, so no problem there, really. But having sex might be problematic. Imagine the Incredible Hulk fucking some girl oftener. I don't see that ending well for any of them. Shape-shifting. You might end up pursuing perfection so much you end up looking like a weird doll. Also it looks like it hurts. Imagine being an airbender and having butt burps. On a more serious note, there was one superhero film with a teenage couple that had elemental powers. One could make fire and the other one had ice breath. They couldn't get intimate because they'd give each other burns and frostbites on accident. Laser vision. Having to wear those special glasses all the time, like indoors or at night, is going to make everyone assume you are either a D-bag, blind, or a creep. Super strength. Imagine how many things you'd accidentally break. Heck, you could accidentally hurt someone giving them a hug or shaking someone's hand. Flight. To put it shortly, there are many ways you could die unless you're also invulnerable. Yeah, and literally everybody you know would try to get you to do their errands. It's rush hour, it will take me forever to pick up the food. But you could just fly over there and back in no time at all. It would only take you a minute. Please. I said no, mom, and I mean it. Hyper fast running speed. The amount of food you'll need to eat to not burn off muscle and fat would be astronomical. Immortality would have to be the absolute worst. No escape from the constant pain of everyone you love dying. If I had the opportunity to achieve immortality, I would make it so that I'm immune to everything related to old age and sickness. However, the only exception is injury. For example, me being immune from drug-resistant illnesses, but not to fire. That way I can fulfill dreams only immortals can, but still be human and not look like I have hero's immunity or something. Super speed. In order to not hit anything while you run, your mind would have to go as fast as your legs. I don't think anyone's mind can go that fast. Another one would be invisibility. If you were born with this power, you practically wouldn't exist, and your parents would be quite confused. Also, if you were not seen, people would constantly bump into you, push you, and you might get locked out of public or private areas. If you develop this power over time, your parents would be immensely concerned if you were not visible. I've seen other people saying invisibility, but they're forgetting the biggest downside of it. Now theoretically there's two ways to be invisible: by somehow replicating the scenery behind you on your skin or clothes like an advanced form of camouflage, or just by simply not reflecting light at all. This would make you completely invisible, but it would also mean you'd be blind if light simply ignored your retina. Super speed could get killed pretty easily. Invisibility would be blinded. Talking to animals or reading minds if you couldn't shut it off. Invisibility. It's such a creepy power. It's always used in shady or creepy ways. Most of them, if you can't keep them to yourself. Imagine having healing abilities or the ability to heal others. In one case you're probably gonna get kidnapped and God knows what. In the other it's the above but enslavement instead, because now the entire f***ing population of Earth is going to expect you to give up everything and do nothing but heal others 24/7. Having abilities of spider or being rich as a superpower. Don't want my uncle or parents to die this early in my life. True, it seems like everyone's parents die. Iron Man's parents, dead. Batman's parents, dead. Spider-Man's parents, plus uncle, dead. With super speed comes the constant feeling of impatience as the normal pace everyone else moves becomes glacial. Phasing. You become intangible and thus have no mass or traction on your feet and therefore can't move forward or have to awkwardly stretch your arms through the wall, rematerialize your hands and push yourself through from the other side, or take a running jump to phase through a wall. Or you have mass and fall through the center of the earth to the other side and back. Or you make the surface you touch intangible and could potentially cause a building to become structurally unsound. This is covered in My Hero Academia. A hero student named Mario describes how he uses his power of permeation and describes all of the issues you did and how he compensates for it. Probably the best superhero story out there because it deals with learning to use their powers and all the major drawbacks of each superpower. Super speed. Ever get annoyed waiting in line? Imagine if you lived your life running at 1000 miles per hour and doing everything at hyperspeed. The regular world would creep by at a snail's pace, and there's nothing you can do to hurry the pace of society along. You just have to endure it. Shrinking or growing. Alongside of shrinking and growing, you are now altering your atoms and compressing or expanding them beyond what is physically possible. You just explode in every instance. But if the superpower interacted reasonably with physics, you'd still now, if you grew, spawned flesh mites, bacteria, viruses of gargantuan proportions. These super microbes would fall off you and devour all the multicellular world. Their skin, too tough to penetrate. Conversely, shrinking, now every virus or bacteria is like a tiny bug that you can see trying to stab you with its proboscis. Shrinking would only be cool if you marginally shrunk, but not like Ant-Man where it's extreme. Immortality would be cool until you wanna go out and realize all your friends died a century ago. Combustibility, like the Human Torch, you will burn too many calories and the oxygen will be consumed by the fire and you could not breathe. Assuming your body has the proper basic adaptation to handle your power, that is not burning yourself with fire manip, seeing while invisible super speed meaning you have enough reserves to run at high speeds without exhaustion. Super strength if you can't modulate it. Super speed if you can't afford the caloric intake. Flight if you can't lift heavy things or don't have a motorcycle helmet. Also caloric intake. Bullet immunity if you need a vaccine only available by injection. Superman's X-ray vision you'd see, so man women naked. Yeah, it's great, but then it becomes normal. Immortality. It's cool and all, but imagine loving for billions of years and watching the death of the universe and you just float around for eternity until you are eventually swallowed up by some black hole and live in a perpetual state of being crushed from all directions down to a subatomic level, but you are somehow still alive. Teleporting. It seems great at first, but you wouldn't want to walk or go anywhere after a while. You can just appear there, but no one can see your powers. So you slowly turn into a recluse and only go out at night, literally popping in and out of your favorite spots around town. I've been daydreaming for months on how it would feel like to have a glass bending superpower. Using glass as a superpower is something I've seen only a handful of times, but if I had to get used to the power the hard way, I could end up giving myself huge scars. And after watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think anyone that isn't born with abilities is gonna have a hard time learning their powers. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Let us know your thoughts on this topic. See you soon.